Morning everyone, my name is Audrey. I'm stitchywitch42. Today is Monday the 12th of June 2023 and this is my channel about cross-stitch life, the universe, and everything. Did I say my name? Yeah. So, my last video I kind of left people up in the air. I started a conversation and then went down a rabbit trail, and thankfully my friend Julie, who is part of Stitching at the Cabin with her daughter Alyssa, said, "So what was the decision you made about work?" Oh, yeah, I didn't finish that train of thought, did I? I am less than a year from retirement, and I have decided that I'm going to step out of bookkeeping. I have this weekend and next weekend, and those are my last two scheduled weeks of doing books on Fridays and Saturdays. So my schedule will be changing at work. I will be doing customer service, still working the same days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, but my hours will be 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I am so looking forward to that. It's time to let the younger people deal with the issues of the bottom safe. And, oh, my voice cracked there. Maybe I'm going through puberty. 64. That happens, right? Anyway, so I'm going to step out of doing the books at the store, but I will be working on Fridays and Saturdays with the person who will be taking my place, so I will be there to answer questions, to help them figure out things when they go wrong, because they do all the time. And I think it's a really good move for me to make at this point in time, because ever since making the decision, it's like, do I still have to work those next 3 weeks, or now next 2 weeks, and do that shift? But yes, I will, and then I will be out of it. And with an exception in August when I will be covering my counterpart's vacation, I am happy to step back and do nothing but customer service. So that was what I left you hanging on last time. I don't know if anybody else realized that I didn't finish that conversation, but that's what's going to be happening work-wise. So, other things that have been happening in my life. I went to see the surgeon this morning about getting my appendix removed, finally. If you remember, last October I ended up in the hospital with a ruptured appendix. They did not remove it at that time, because I guess that is what they're doing more and more often. If they can treat it at the time with antibiotics, they do that. So after my scope last month, went and visited with the surgeon today. He asked me if I'm having any issues. My only issue is that I get twinges in that area. They're not really bad. They don't last a long time. They just make themselves known. He did a quick examination of my abdomen. There was no problems with him pressing on it anywhere. But he recommended that we go ahead and schedule to have my appendix removed, and I said, that's fine. Can we do it in October? He asked me why I wanted to wait so long. And the simple answer is, last October, when I spent 6 days in the hospital and then spent a couple of weeks at home, used up all of this year's PTO, and I don't have any until my anniversary date, which is at the end of September. So, as things stand, unless anything drastic happens, and please, please, please don't let anything drastic happen, I will be having my appendix removed on October 10th. Would you like to talk some cross-stitch now? Because I've got 3 projects to share with you, and I am loving all of them. One of them thoroughly ticked me off. If you remember, I had started Carriage House Samplings Halloween Feed Sack. Gorgeous pattern. I bought it because I loved it. When I watched my friend Lori, textilist, show hers, she's doing the Christmas version of this, I told myself I really need to get started on this because it was something that I wanted to do, and my plan is to finish it in a bag exactly the way it looks here. The issue that I had with it the other day was really, really frustrating. It seems that making mistakes is a thing with me. I do them a lot, and if I can leave them, I leave them. If I can't, how much is it going to bother me? How much am I going to have to adapt to avoid having to pick it out? See that owl on there? That owl right there. Big black owl. There's 5 colors in this pattern. There's a brown, there's a black, there's an orange, there's a yellow, there's a green. The owl is black. I stitched the whole owl, the outside of it. And then I was looking at it because I went to grab the second color to do the breast of the owl. And the funny thing is the symbol for the breast of the owl was the same color that I had stitched the outside of the owl. And I looked at it, and I looked at the pattern, and I looked at the symbols. I said a bunch of words. Posted it on Instagram, said more words, and finally I decided that this is a personalization that I can adapt, a very easy adaptation. I've never seen a black owl. I've seen dark brown ones, Northern Hoot owl, is that what it's called? I don't know. Saw one of those live and in person one time many, many years ago. But I've never seen an owl that looks like this. What we have in our area is barn owls. And I have been blessed with seeing them many times when I was driving to and from work when I was working up in Lake Oswego because I drove early mornings into the store. I even, one time, many years prior to that, was driving home close to midnight one night, and I looked out the passenger side window, and I had a barn owl flying parallel to my car for a little bit, and I just thought that was the wildest thing that I've ever seen next to my car. But we have barn owls, and they are more of a brownish color, more of a tawny color. So after looking at this pattern and saying words many, many times, I decided to leave my owl as it is and stitch the breast with a 6th color. I also stitched over part of the pattern. These stripes here are supposed to be the same color as the outline of the bird. But again, because I'm making it look more like a barn owl, I decided that I would stitch them black. And since the brown was already stitched there, I just took my black thread and I stitched over it. Now, if I look at it close, I can see a little bit of the brown behind it, but I think for the effect that I wanted on this pattern with this stupid bird, and it is a stupid bird, seeing that little hint of brown, I think is an added bonus. But this is where I'm at with the Halloween feed sack. This is my barn owl version of the pattern. And other than that, I think I'm making good progress on this one. I had finished stitching some of the green on it and realized I was out of 469, which is the green that is used. And went upstairs and went through all my DMC, and I do mean all my DMC. I looked in the bobbinated boxes, I looked in the drawer with the skeins, I looked on rings that I had of other flosses from other projects that I haven't put away. I looked in the box that held the skeins that I haven't put away from previous projects. I need to do that soon, it's overflowing again. And I didn't have any 469, so I went down and I bought 2 more skeins of it. So I have plenty for this project. Do you do that? Do you stitch over if you make a mistake? I've done it many times. I've done it in my Alphonse Mucas. It all depends on what I'm stitching, where I'm stitching in the pattern. There are so many colors in my Alphonse Mucas that sometimes some of the symbols are very similar. You know, you might have a half parenthesis this way or a half parenthesis the opposite way. And yes, I have grabbed the wrong color and stitched it in the wrong place. If it's a dark color in a light portion of the design, I will unpick it. If it's a light stitch where a darker color is supposed to be, I stitch over it. Because quite honestly, for as big as the Alphonse Mucas are, if somebody is going to find that one stitch that has 2 layers of floss, good luck. Good luck. Speaking of her, I have not done any work on her at all. I went out to First Thursday at the beginning of the month. It was actually the first, I think. And I took another project with me. And some of the ladies goes, "Are you finished with your lady?" And I said, no, she stayed at home because certain friends of mine tease me about bringing large projects when I go stitching. And the project that I brought with me is one that I don't want to put it down. So I am going to pause and put in a picture here of the area that I just finished stitching before I did the back stitch and the area after I did the back stitch. So, be right back. Hi there. So the pattern that I just showed you, before and after pictures of pre-back stitch and after back stitch, is from this pattern. This is Halloween Balcony. This is the one that was sent to me by Kelly, Lover Song, and I started it immediately, and I am loving stitching on this piece so much. I could seriously go monogamous on this one and just be so happy with it. This is where I'm at on this piece. And right about here is the bottom of the first page. So other than the little bit of back stitching that I have to finish over here in the leaves, I am completely done with the first page of this pattern, and it's approximately 3 1/4 pages long. But I love this so much. And when I was doing the back stitches on those pumpkins down there, absolutely think it is so gorgeous. Underneath the balcony is half stitches to show the shadow under the balcony, and I love the way it looks. So this is where I am at with Halloween Balcony. Once again, thank you, Kelly, for sending this to me. I am loving this piece. I love the colors in it. I love the way, as I stitch the back stitch, it just makes it pop. And if you look up here in the corner, you can see I'm working on this area. I'm working on the back stitch in there. This part has been done. This part has not been done. And you just see all the difference the back stitching makes. Absolutely love this pattern. And of course, the last one that I've been working on is my Don't Feed the Trolls. This was designed by Daisy Joe Designs, Kimberly, and I'm switching all the colors up. Now, when I showed up my last video, I told you I had some problems with the L's. The L's are exactly the same as they were when I showed it to you. I look at it, and while I know they're not right because it's both of them, I think it looks just fine. I also posted a little 1-minute video about 4 or 5 days ago showing how I was stitching Paw Patrol. So this is my version of Don't Feed the Trolls. I did, like I said, I had stitched this inner border far enough along so that I could count the number of spaces between the border and Mama Troll's feet. And then I came over here and I figured out where to start his foot, counted up the right number of stitches, and there is Paw Patrol. Now, something that you can't see on the video, but you can see in person, is that he has an eye. When I was stitching Mama Troll, right about there, and it was purely random, there's 4 really light stitches there. And when I looked at it, I thought, wow, it looks like she has an eye there. So I did the same thing on Paw Patrol. Right here, I used the brown bear, the border color, the club color, and I put in 4 stitches exactly the same as the 4 light stitches on Mama to give him an eye. When I look at it in person, I see it. On the camera, I'm sure it's impossible to see. But I think this is still so stinking cute. I was talking with Mark last night. I have an idea of how I want to finish it. I just need to go down to the lumberyard and buy some wood to frame it, if you will. So pretty much those are the 3 things that I have been stitching on. There hasn't been a lot of anything else happening this last, well, my 40th wedding anniversary, is that a big thing? I think so. Last Saturday, the 10th, Mark and I have now been married for 40 years. We've been together almost 42 total. And we went out and had dinner and then went to go see a movie. And I seriously thought twice about telling anybody about which movie we went to see, because certain friends of mine will start sending me even more memes of raccoons if I mention that we saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3. If you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I won't spoil it for you. But yeah, bloody raccoons. So pretty much that's all I have to share with you this time around. I know it's not much, but it's what I've been working on. I haven't been watching a lot of FlossTube. When my favorites show up that they have a video, I run to watch them. But the rest of the time I've been watching paper crafting stuff, and I'm working on a new journal and having way too much fun with it. And I watched a video today that I have to go try that technique out. So it's like, get this video done and then I can go play with paper. But just to let you know, I'm going to give you a quick list of some of the people that when I see that they have a video up, I run to see them right away. And the first one was one of the ladies that I saw yesterday, and that is Marlene, Stitching at the Lake. I love her to death. Leslie, Fat Cat Flossing. Anna, Stitch Roadies, Quilt Roadies. Sender of Raccoon Memes. Colleen and Cheryl, Stitching with the Sisterlies. Vicky, Stitching Buttons. Julie and Alyssa, Stitching at the Cabin. Lori Textilis, Lisa, Kindred Stitcher. There's so many of them. And I still try to get out and watch new ones also. So thank you to everybody who is just starting to make videos. I'll eventually catch up to you too. Thank you to those of you who watch my videos. For looking at your subscriptions, I noticed a little jump from my last video to now, so thank you if you subscribed. I appreciate that. Thank you for all of the comments. Seriously, they are the best part of it for me because I'm sitting here staring at myself in a camera and talking to myself. So when you guys comment, it means so much to me. And I love the fact that so many people commented with their icon signatures. So until we meet again, my friends, live long and stitch on. Bye-bye.